Diet starts tomorrow. What is up, YouTube fam? As you can see, I'm not at home again. Actually, you probably don't know that. Who am I kidding? This is only my third video. However, I do have 17 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for kind of joining me on this journey and supporting me. I love it. All of the thumbs up, comments, subscriptions have been really great, and most of the feedback I've gotten so far has been really good, so I'm excited to keep going. I have a tripod waiting for me at home, which is super exciting for me, and hopefully somewhere down the line I will get a good camera to see kind of how it goes. I do have a much more stable setup this time, so hopefully I don't make any of you guys sick with my bouncing and jostling, and I'll try to keep the hand movements to a minimum. Always welcoming feedback, by the way. My mom told me at one point it looked like I didn't have a hand. I don't know, I'm part Italian too, so I think it's in my blood, but I will make a conscious effort to sit a little bit more still. Okay, let's just get right into it. Over the last couple years, I've just progressively gotten more tired. I've had less energy, been a little bit less motivated, just in a kind of every aspect of my life. And the only thing I can attribute that to is the fact that my fitness and diet has slowly deteriorated over time. And at this point, I'm pretty much just kind of eating whatever I want, which has consisted of, honestly, probably 35% junk. And I don't know, you guys, it's just kind of leaving me tired most days. I've got no energy. I'm happy to just go home and lay on the couch after work. If I'm traveling, I don't want to go out and do things after my work day is done. I just prefer to go back to the hotel, and that's not me. I have always been an athlete my entire life. I've always had a ton of energy, had just the kind of attitude where I want to get out and explore and like couldn't sit still. But yeah, I don't know, the last 2 years I've blamed it on my age, but I know that's not true, because every time, you know, I've got a week or two where I'm consistent with my health and exercise, I've just felt way better. So a couple other things that I've noticed that have gotten a little bit worse too since my diet and exercise have fallen off track are, as you guys can see, my chest is super red. I'm not sunburned. I'm not really nervous. I have like really high blood pressure, so scary to the point where we did a health assessment at work and they made me sign a waiver so that they could release me, saying that I would go to a doctor right away. And I have gone to the doctor. Every time my cardio is consistent, I've been able to get my blood pressure down on my own so that I haven't had to have blood pressure medication. Part of it's hereditary, it does run in my family, but I also know that it's something that I can personally fix with diet and exercise. So I'm not saying you guys should get off your medication and count on a diet and exercise. Obviously, always consult a physician. But for me, I know that when I'm getting consistent cardio and a little bit less sodium in my diet, I'm like feeling a lot better and I'm getting my blood pressure back down. I don't know, you guys, like I just feel unhappy is not even the right word. I'm just kind of, numb's not the right word either, complacent, I guess. And I don't know, I'm not cool being complacent. I'm actually most happy in my life when I'm in my super ambitious stages, or kind of striving to be, or trying to go after a really huge goal physically. Walk you through a little bit of my past. My whole life I've been in cheerleading, even through college in Illinois, and it wasn't until I hit about 22 when I took a break from school and I was in a stable relationship where I just kind of stopped completely working out. I started eating whatever I want, which would usually consist of a stop at the Taco Bell drive-thru after work, which would be, you know, like 5:15, and then I'd go home and I would eat dinner early at like 6, and then I'd be hungry again by 9, so I'd be eating again. So there were some nights where I was having like 3 dinners, okay? I am 5'7". At that point in my life, I got up to about 196 pounds of like mostly fat. It was not a healthy 196 pounds. Now I do have a pretty big frame, so I can hold a lot of weight, and I don't generally feel like I look overweight or fluffy or anything. But at that point in my life, I had high blood pressure, I had severe depression, really bad acne, just a lot of side effects that come with obesity. And my BMI was in the obesity range. So yeah, just a really bad part of my life. And so I started, I bought a little trampoline and I started spending 10 minutes a day jumping on it, and eventually I got up to like 30 minutes a day jumping on this stupid little trampoline, and I really enjoyed it. It was fun, and I think that's what made me stick with it for like the 6 months that I did, because I just enjoyed that. And you know, I just made little changes. I would jump on my trampoline and I, you know, cut out 1 dinner and then 2 dinners, and then eventually I said, okay, I'm never eating fast food again unless, you know, it's a dire emergency. Kind of at that same point in my life, I moved cross country. So I moved from Illinois to Arizona. And when I got to Arizona, I was just surrounded by beautiful, fit people. It was at that point in my life where I started kind of getting interested in working out. So my whole life I was a cheerleader, but I never did any sort of weightlifting or regular cardio or anything like that. So at that point in my life, this was probably about 8 years ago, or 8 to 10 years ago, I started using an elliptical trainer. And again, I started small, maybe 10 minutes, and I worked my way up to an hour. And anyways, all this being said, I dropped about 30-ish pounds in that time frame. And then again, I moved from Arizona to Utah. And when I moved to Utah, I had a friend come out and visit me who was training for a half marathon at the time. And she asked me to join her just on a lap at my local park. And so I did, and it was really hard. But the only thing I kept thinking was, let me finish this one lap. If I can run one lap, I'll be really proud of myself. Well, I come to find later that that one lap at that park was 1.5 miles. You guys, I had never ran over 1 mile in my life. And so for me to be able to run 1.5 miles, I was so, I was proud. I know you're not supposed to be proud, but I was dang proud. I was so happy. I fell in love with the sport of running. And fast forward, 5-6 years, here I am. I've ran 2 full marathons, countless half marathons. I've done a couple trail runs, and it was a really big part of my life for a long time. And it was also that point in my life where I really got my diet on track. I started studying calorie counting and just healthy eating, and at the time it was called myplate.com. It was owned by Live Strong, and I believe the calorie counting is still on there, but there were forums I got into, groups I joined, I tracked all my calories. I just found out what nutrition really was, and I wanted to eat healthy at that time, because the better and the more clean I ate, the more vegetables and lean meats and all that, the better my runs felt and the faster I got. Basically, I went from 196 pounds to 130 pounds in about a 4 or 5 year time frame. My girlfriend invited me to go to the gym with her just to kind of get some of my stress out, and that's when I fell in love with weight training. For me, I'm a super ambitious person, and so I really, I didn't want to just train for the heck of it. I needed a goal. Over the next 2 years, I started training for my first bodybuilding competition. So running took a back burner, bodybuilding really picked up in my life, and it was the most empowering thing that I have ever discovered. Just being able to, deadlift 200 pounds, and I think my best squat was like 180, but it just felt really good to be physically strong. Those personal records and all of that heavy weight and all of those just barriers in my mind of things I didn't think I could do and then achieve just made me that much mentally tougher. And I still love bodybuilding. It's pretty much how I still train now. If I'm home and not traveling a ton, I do try to get to the gym still about 3 to 4 times a week right now, which I know is not great. I know I should get there at least 5 to 6 times for me to personally feel my best. And so anyways, here I am at another hotel, another day, and I've just been thinking, I've been wanting to make a change for a while. I've been wanting to get back on track because there's really no excuses. So here I am. I just got back from the gym here. I did 25 minutes on the elliptical, and then I did some weight training for about 30 minutes. I feel really good now. If you can't tell, I just feel better. Those endorphins are flowing, and it just feels really good to sweat, This video is kind of just how I'm gonna get back on track. And so I guess part of the reason I want to get on track is, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm just kind of feeling crappy. I'm tired, I'm not as happy, I'm not as motivated right now. And I know once I get myself back on track with a regular schedule, I'm just gonna feel more like me again. And so I know a lot of people don't like to, start over around the holidays, but I tend to stay on track most in the winter months, and specifically around holidays. And don't worry, I still enjoy holiday treats. I've made thumbprint cookies like twice this month, I think, it's December already. So anyways, I've made a ton of cookies lately, and still gonna enjoy some treats, but just in a mindful way. And I'll save all of these tips and tricks and recipes and all that for more videos, but right now I just wanna break it down how I plan to get back on track with my health and fitness. I'm gonna do some more solo workouts. So right now I'm either working out with my boyfriend or one of my girlfriends, and I just know that I have the best training session when I can get in my my own head and work out and just kind of follow my own schedule and do my own lifts. And so when I get home, I plan to hopefully work out at least 5 days a week, if not 6, with 1 rest day on Sunday. And 3 of those sessions I have promised myself will be on my own. And during those sessions, something that gets me fired up to get back on track is a new play. I love loud pounding music in my head, and nothing gets me more excited than like songs that I'm just stoked about at the moment. So I'm gonna make a new playlist for myself and take it on my solo workouts with me. I'm also going to go get probably a new pair of leggings. I am a big fan of Lulu. Now I know they're super expensive, but mine have consistently lasted 4 to 5 years. And so for me, it's a really good investment because they last. They really, really last. Something else I'm gonna do, so I fly home tomorrow. I get in kind of early, so I'm gonna grocery shop as soon as I get in. I'm not even gonna go home. I'm gonna go get those healthy groceries so that I'm not tempted to just order something in, Uber Eats something because, you know, I'm tired from traveling. No, like no more excuses. I'm gonna go straight to the grocery store. I have a list already. What I've been doing is kind of going through Pinterest and getting just some new fresh ideas for dinners. And so I will use that grocery list and I'll go get my groceries, and I'm gonna meal prep when I get home. So tomorrow's my rest day, being Sunday, and I'm gonna meal prep probably for the first 3 or 4 days of the week. And I like to do a lunch and dinner when I'm meal prepping so that mornings are a little bit open. So whether I wanna do like a healthy breakfast sandwich or oats, and again, I'm gonna probably do what I eat in a day during this getting back on track phase, I guess. So I'll share all of that with you guys. Something else I'm gonna do is add more cardio. I don't know if I want to train for a race or what my plan is yet for the spring, but right now, just getting 3 to 4 sessions of cardio in after my lifts are going to make a huge difference for me. My weight seems to drop rather quickly when I have consistent cardio in my diet, or sorry, in my regime, I guess. And so some of my favorites are the Arc Trainer, running, and I do like the elliptical too. I don't really so much like the bike. I just don't feel like, even if I'm pushing myself, I don't really seem to feel like I get a lot of bang for my buck there. I'm not a fan of HIIT. I know that it's the best, and I think I'm not a fan because it's really hard. So I'm gonna try to pledge that I do at least one of my 3 to 4 cardio sessions, making it a HIIT session. And if you don't know what HIIT is, it's high intensive interval training. And so I can do a video on that too if you guys would be interested. But yeah, so those are just a couple of things that I plan to do to personally get myself back on track. Again, I'm gonna do some solo workouts. I'm gonna have a new playlist. I'm gonna get a new pair of leggings. I don't know if I kind of went into it, but just having new fresh clothes like kind of motivates me to get to the gym more, so that's always a favorite of mine. And then I'm going to meal prep. And oh, something else that is kind of helpful is telling your coworkers or whoever you spend the most time with during the day that you're planning to kind of get your health in check again. And it's useful for them to know that, because then I'll get less lunch invites, which for me it's really hard to say no to going out with my coworkers for lunch. I'm not really the new girl anymore, but I think I'm at a point now where they support me and love me, and so they just want me to be happy and healthy. So if I, you know, just let them know, hey, I'm trying to get back on track, I'm bringing my lunches for the next couple weeks, I think they'll help support that. And I'm not saying you can't be healthy and go out to eat, because you definitely can. There are definitely healthy options at any restaurant. You can make it work. But for me to kind of get it back together, I need to just follow my own diet for the first couple weeks. So I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and please like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment below telling me what your favorite tip is to get back on track. See you next time, guys.